Welcome back, gamers. Today I'm going to take a look at Battlefield 1. Finally beaten the game and played online for about 10 hours plus. So unlike the previous Battlefield game where the campaign would go through one perspective and then the game ends and there's your story of the game, this time in Battlefield 1 is told through many perspectives. 6 war hero campaigns will be played. The campaign itself is really well written. The narration told in the campaign is heartfelt at times, it's intense, and at times very explosive and fun. But the only problem with the campaign is that it is super short. So if you're seeking out some sort of really long single-player campaign that's replayable, you won't find much of it here, but that's okay because the best part about this game is what comes after, the multiplayer. If you don't follow Battlefield, this is the 15th installment of the game, and also it's a World War. It's been years since EA has made a World War game, and the best thing about this game is the fact that it uses the Frost engine. The Frost engine looks phenomenal in terms of graphics, physics, destructibility. Everything about this engine just screams eye candy and also gorgeous. Aside from all the eye candy that the Frost engine provide, the game is really optimized. It looks really nice, it runs really nice if you meet the minimum requirement. The only downside probably I've seen from the graphic is sometimes weird glitches that happen throughout the game from the DirectX 12, but otherwise if you played in DirectX 11, there wouldn't be too much issues. Another thing I love about this game is the soundtrack. The soundtrack and music in this game that plays during certain moments in the game is absolutely phenomenal. I love the soundtrack the most. It is an epic score, so if you've listened to the original soundtrack yourself, you're gonna fall in love with it. And so far, the servers have been running really well because the game isn't out yet. Only those that early enlisted for the Deluxe Edition or the Ultimate Edition, which I do have, can play the game at the moment. But at the same time, there's almost around 100,000 people on the PC playing. Everywhere else, like Xbox One, 150,000, and PS4 is around 90,000. So it's a lot of people playing the game right now, which isn't out yet until tonight. But we'll have to see how the game itself hold up once the server goes on full release. If you haven't played the game yet, the game this time uses a system to match up players by skills. As you can see on the screen, there are custom games. Hardcore mode is coming for those of you that are curious if there's going to be a hardcore mode. Along with that, some other mode called Fog of War, which is coming out later. I don't know what those are. As you can see on the screen, the custom matches can be made, and also there is a server browser in the game. Not a lot of games have that, so a lot of people love server browsers. Dedicated servers, you got them. And then this game also will feature 60 ticks. If you don't know what that is, please look it up. And of course, Battlefield isn't Battlefield without our slew of favorite original gameplay modes that we've seen before. Conquest, where you capture flags and then get the enemy tickets down. Rush mode, where you destroy an enemy's telegraph and then progress to their territory. Of course, Team Deathmatch explains itself. A brand new mode is going to be War Pigeons. War Pigeons is where you have a couple of players. One person is going to grab a pigeon, and then the other side have to stop that person from writing a message and then sending it off. The team that sends off 3 messages with the pigeon wins. Really different, but not really one of my favorite. I like Conquest and Domination. Best new mode in this game would have to be Operations. It completely blows Conquest and Rush out of the water for me. The thing about this mode is that there's one team that's attacking, one team that's defending. The attacking team has to push through the map itself, which is broken through section by holding capture points. Once they do that, they move on to the next area, and the defenders get 3 chances to defend. After the first turn, the second and third turn, defenders will then be aided by behemoths. We'll talk about the 3 behemoths in a bit, but this game mode is really fun and really epic. And I just kind of realized why I love this game mode and seen it before. It is a slightly modified, better version of Turning Point from the Battle of Jakku DLC, Star Wars Battlefront. Holy cow. If you don't know what that is, look it up. I'm a huge fan of the game, and that's why it's so familiar to me. Anyways, moving on. As for the classes, if you played previous Battlefield, it's switched up a little bit now. Each of the classes has a responsibility and role in a squad. The Assault class responsibility is taking out vehicles. The support class is responsible for supplying ammo and getting rid of the backline defense with mortars. The medic class is to bring other people back to life with the syringe. And the scout class is responsible, as usual, for recon. So if you like being a sniper, you play scout. As for engineering or vehicle engineers, you have to pick a vehicle to be with that loadout. For example, if you pick a pilot or you pick a vehicle driver, tanker, or a cavalry, they have their own loadout. And the final classes that you can pick in this game are called elite classes. Elite classes comes from weaponry. I heard a lot of people ask me, how do you get a flamethrower? How do you get a sentry gun? Anti-tank weaponry, you have to find these classes in terms of weapons that are spawned throughout the battlefield. And pretty much when you pick it up, you get reverted into that class and you'll carry their weapons and their loadout. And these classes are pretty strong. As for the weapons in the game, there are 6 categories you'll see, and a ton of varieties for each of the classes. They all have their strengths and weaknesses, and then you have to play them all out to see which one you can take advantage of the most. And this is just to show you some of the weapons in the game. Each class can also carry certain gadgets. You can take a look at some of the gadgets. There isn't many modification to the weapon itself, but you can change the weapon skin, which is earned through the crates. And you can't buy the crates, you can only earn it, scrap down whatever the same items you have. And using those scraps, you buy more crates so that you can unlock more different varieties of skins for the weapon. And that's pretty much what you're going to be working towards in this game. Aside from that, you're also working towards the medal. For the weapons themselves, historically, they do make sense. I like the way they work. I like the design. However, I'm worried about one thing, is the fact that it might be bland in the future. Because play the game over and over and over again, people will start wanting to see something different. So hopefully they might make something unique out of it, since there isn't many variety customization to choose from. Anyways, let's get back into talking about the maps in the game and the changes that you'll see. Now, back to the behemoth I was referencing to. It is the 3 new giant destructive vehicles that show up in combat, depending on which game mode you play, Conquest or Operations. During Conquest, if the team with the losing ticket is losing by a large margin, a behemoth shows up. And in Operations, on the attacking team, if you don't push that far on your second and third turn, you'll be reinforced with behemoths each time. The behemoth itself, depending on the map, will come from either land, sea, or air. In the air, you have the giant airship. In water, you have the dreadnought battleship. And then, of course, on land, you'll have Thomas the Angry armored train. These behemoths can be really big game changers during certain key moments. I've seen games where people have picked up from like 400 to 600 tickets and they would instantly go above and win the game because the team doesn't focus these behemoths down. It is very important to take these guys down or they're just going to wreak havoc on the battle to help the team progress. It's a very nice counterbalance to a team that's losing out really badly. All 3 of these behemoths can be destroyed. Each of them are destructible in parts. In order to take down a behemoth, you just don't shoot one side of it. You have to attack it from certain different areas of it. Like each part of the behemoth itself is a destructible piece. And once you destroy it, it is pretty glorious in terms of graphics, eye candy, and explosions. In fact, the best explosions comes from the Dreadnought when you destroy it. Now, as of right now, on the game's release, there will be 9 different maps that you will play on. Each of them very big and also very well done. Depends on your taste and your preference, which of them is your favorite or least liked. Maybe a map is too open, you won't like it, or way too rocky, who knows. But these are the 9 maps that are available in the game on launch. The first one you've seen already many times is the Suez, the Sinai Desert, Monte Grappa,
Attenzione, c'è un ricognitore!
the Argonne Forest, St. Quentin Scar.
We have taken objective Alpha.
Empire's Edge. Ballroom Blitz. Double Rainbow. Amiens. And finally, Bow's Fortress. Whether it's heavy wind, rain, or even sandstorms and fog, land, sea, and air, this is definitely a good game to check out. If you're into the World War I theme, it's really fun to play. This has been my review of the game, guys. Thanks for watching, and game on. Haha, yeah, look at that pro. Pro landing, and here comes the pro repair. The end. The end. Alright, chaps, let's move out.